Hello everyone, this is Mopbot. This is a redstone tutorial, and this is how to get player heads in survival mode upon death. So as you can see, this is obviously a command block line, and this is not entirely my own idea. This was inspired by Exumavoid. A link to his video will be in the description. But what he did was when you kill another player, it will drop the player head. This is slightly different in that it will drop a player head upon any death. And this is kind of cool because it means like if you jump off like a high building or something and you land and you die, it'll still drop your head. And it uses a little bit different mechanics than his as well. This one is just more customized, I think, in my own opinion, and kind of a little bit easier to set up. But overall, I don't know, I like it. So let's give a little demonstration here if we hop into here so that my player head doesn't just like shoot out the side when I die. If I do /kill, now you'll see right kind of below my crosshair, there is a player head. And that is my player head from the top of my head. It is just black. That's obviously my hair. Now I will respawn right here. It looks like it's not there. That's actually just a bug. It is actually there. I've tested this in other versions and it does work, but I have Optifine for 1.8.4. So that's just what I'm using. But if I walk over that, yeah, you can see it obviously was there. It's just a bug. When you die, items just don't show up. It's strange. It was fixed is all I care about. But yeah, so now I have my laggy player head. And obviously it works just like any other player head. You can put it on, and now I have like a bobblehead. Let's just toss that into the void here and kind of give you an overview of how this thing works. So it's a fill clock here. As you can see, it is a little laggy because I'm recording, but it does replace the block really quite quickly, and you can see all the particles falling when I break it. And so this here sets a redstone block immediately below it, which is right here. And this one will then set the whole line to redstone block, and this one to the left here sets it to air. And so these three form the actual clock, and this thing can be as long as you want. You just have to change the numbers in this one here, that 10 that is, and over here as well, this 11. And so that'll just create the extra line because you do need an extra command block for each player, so you might need it longer. I didn't shorten it. I had Corp test it out with me as well to make sure it was actually working per player. And that is why his is in there, and let's fix that. So then these blocks over here, these command blocks, this one will set any player who has a death score of 2 back to 0. So that's really important because that is actually how it gets all the timing right. So this one sets the death score of 1 to 2, and this one checks for 1, if we scroll back here, and we'll summon the item. That is the player skull. And you need to have one for each player because it summons each separate actual skull. And so to actually have this working, you can see that I have the score IsDead, and IsDead is not actually a part of the game until you add it, and that is with this command here, and that is Scoreboard objectives add IsDead deathCount. Now caps do matter, so if you're going to do it exactly as I do, you do have to have the capital I and the capital D. Deathcount is actually part of the game, so that you don't have to worry about. But again, caps do matter, so you can hit tab. So if you have like death and just hit tab, it'll put that in for you. The other thing you want to put in there is gamerule commandBlockOutput false, and that will stop all the spam. If that's off, or set to true rather, and every time this is placed here, which is every tick by these, you're going to get a message in chat, and it's just going to be crazy. So that's something to avoid, to keep in mind. And like I said, you'll need another command block for each player. So if we go over just what each one does, I'm going to put up a picture of each command block on screen, and I'll be right back. Okay, so looking at each one of these now, I have them labeled. On command blocks 1, 2, and 3, those are the ones I went over before. That is for the fill clock. Those do need to be in that order because of the way that the redstone blocks will actually check for the commands and actually activate them in the right order so that it actually makes a fill clock. 4 and 5, they need to be in that too. The correct position that is, and those are for the scoreboard of setting it up to 2 and then back to 0 upon getting a score of 1. And then both 6s, they are both labeled 6 because they are the same command just with different usernames in there, and make sure that when you're changing those usernames that you actually change both of the usernames in there. There are 2 usernames in one block, so make sure that you do check both of those. And then of course that you can add more 6s per each player that you have that you want a player head for. And all these commands will be in the description, labeled 1 through 6. And then for the ones where you have to change the names, it'll just be labeled name in all caps. Okay, so one final thing to mention is that these do need to be in the spawn chunks so that they will always be loaded, so that no matter where in the world you are, you will actually be able to drop your player skull. That'd be really unfortunate to have it somewhere else die and not have that. You might want to protect this too, because I guess this could be used as a redstone farm, so barrier blocks or bedrock or something that you can't get into in survival mode. So anyways, this has been Mappa, and I'm out.